Good morning everybody, Will Travel here. Today we are at Bryce Canyon National Park. We're going to do a little bit of hiking, a little bit of driving, but first we are going to check out the Sunrise Point. Here's our first look at the canyon, all covered in snow. Wow. These rock formations are like nothing we've seen so far. Very interesting. So according to one of the signs here, these rock structures are called hoodoos, and according to the ancient Native American tradition, these rock structures are actually people that were punished by coyotes and turned to stones for doing bad deeds, which is really interesting. So now we've walked half a mile to Sunrise Point, which is the northern end. Now we're going to hike down there where those people are. Queen's Garden Trail. So there's a little tunnel here with definitely not enough clearance for me, but I'll try to make it through. There we go. And another one. So we just went up this switchback and it's pretty slippery. You can definitely slide down, but haven't fallen yet. We're almost there. Not much further. So many hoodoos. So we made it back to the top. Great views from up here too. So we've left the sunrise-sunset portion of Bryce Canyon and drove down the road just a little bit, like less than a mile, and now we're at Inspiration Point, which is, I believe, up on the top of this, so a short hike up there, and hopefully there'll be some great views. Excellent view of the hoodoos from up here. Super beautiful. And it looks like we can even go higher up there to that point, so we'll probably go up there next. Very high elevation here. So now we've driven to the next spot, which is BRYCE Point, which is even higher of an overlook. And this, I think, is the last stop we're going to take in the park before we head on to our next destination. But hopefully there'll be some great views here, and it certainly is a lot colder up here. So we're leaving Bryce Canyon and headed to Capitol Reef National Park. We've got a campground there, but it's first come, first serve, so hopefully we can find a spot, but I'm not too worried about that. It's a 2.5 hour drive from here, about northwest, and hopefully we'll be there soon and the drive won't be too bad, and maybe we'll get there before the sun sets.
Good morning from Capitol Reef National Park. Last night we got in a little bit later than we had hoped, so we just called it a night. We couldn't see what was around us. We had no idea what our surroundings were, but it's cool. There's some rock formations, but yeah, it's very, very chilly here. Last night our heat actually failed. The power, we ran out of power because we hadn't plugged it in a couple days, plugged the Revel in a couple days, and I guess the solar was worn out. I think what happened was we have been running the heat during the day so the water doesn't freeze, and I think that kind of just overwhelmed the battery because we had the heat on all the time even when we weren't in it. But now we've got it up and running again. We got the solar running again tonight. We're at a campground with plug-in, so it should be all good. But now we're gonna head to the visitor center and see what we can see here at Capitol Reef National Park. So we just went to the visitor center and got a map, and we're gonna do the scenic drive first, which is a 10-mile out and back, so 20 mile total trip. But we came to this first stop, and it says that there were actually uranium mines here, and you can see over there, there's little entrances to the mine shafts. But what's funny about this is that in 1904, when they started digging, they thought uranium had health benefits, and people would wear the ore around their neck, the radioactive ore, or put it in water and drink it. And obviously that's very dangerous, so don't do that. But later on, they tried to use it for weapons in the 1950s, but they didn't find anything here, and it ended up just destroying the environment, which is really sad. Wasn't profitable at all. We're looking for an arch that's supposed to be around here somewhere, but can't find it yet. Alright, so it's way up there. Pretty far away. Alright, so now we're doing a short 1 mile hike. Well, 1 mile out and then 1 mile back, so 2 mile hike. But it's in this beautiful little canyon here. Kind of like the Narrows, except for we're not in the water. We're walking on snow now. But yeah, it's very, very chilly. I think this is the coldest day we've had so far this entire trip. It's just brutal out. So we hiked up to this place called the Tanks, and I guess this time of year it's mostly just snow and sand. Yep, this is it. No water. But it's pretty cool limestone colors here. It's different from the red rock we've seen recently. So we're heading out from Capitol Reef and we're headed to Moab tonight, where we will be spending the next couple nights, and this is sort of the gateway to Canyonlands National Park and Arches National Park. So we'll be hitting both of those, but that'll be in the next video. I'll catch you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe.